Hey, mamas, it's your girl, Kerri, and welcome back to another Monday Mindset episode of Mom Wife Career Life. We're continuing our Becoming Her series where we're reflecting on who you've been, who you're becoming, and how you want to show up next year. Over the past few weeks, we've talked about the woman you're becoming, the mom you want to be, and this week we're focusing on the partner you want to be because as busy working moms, marriage often gets pushed to the bottom of our list. And not because it doesn't matter, but because everything else just feels louder and more urgent. And that brings us to this week's quote. Marriage doesn't need more time, it needs more intention. Now, let's jump in and break it down. Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life's weekly empowering episode of Monday's Motivational Mindset. And you know what that means. It's time to kickstart your week with a boost of inspiration, positivity, and a full lot of motivation. Working moms, I get it. Mondays can be tough. We all know that. But they're also a chance for a fresh start, a new opportunity, and the perfect day to set the tone for a successful week ahead. I'm Kerri Pat, your host and fellow working mom. Every week, I'll be sharing a motivational quote and we'll break it down, share stories, and uncover the wisdom it holds for our unique journey as working moms. So whether you're getting ready for work, making those school lunches, or just enjoying a quiet moment alone, let's dive into this week's dose of motivation. Let's make this Monday count. I want to start today by repeating the quote we're grounding this episode in because I think it hits home for so many of us in this season of life. Marriage doesn't need more time. It needs more intention. Because if you're anything like the moms I work with, and honestly, like me, time feels like one thing we just never have enough of between work and kids and schedules and that mental load that we're carrying all day long. It sometimes feels impossible to imagine adding one more thing onto our plate. And when it comes to our marriage, we often tell ourselves we'll focus on that when life slows down. But the truth is, life is never really going to slow down on its own. What usually happens instead is that connection slowly gets replaced by logistics. Conversations turn into to-do lists. Romance turns into routines. And suddenly you realize you're managing life together, but not really connecting anymore. And that doesn't mean that your marriage is broken. It just means you're really, really busy. And busy seasons don't require more effort. What they require is more intention. And intention looks like choosing connection in those small, realistic ways that actually fit into the season you're in. It's not about those grand gestures or perfectly planned date nights. It's about those tiny choices that you make consistently. It's eye contact during your morning coffee instead of looking at your phones. It's checking in emotionally, not just operationally. It's planning time together instead of hoping it just magically appears because hope is not a strategy, but intention is. And this ties directly into the Becoming Her work that we've been doing. The partner you're becoming isn't waiting for perfect circumstances. She's learning how to protect what matters right in the middle of the real life you're living today. So here's what I want to invite you into this week. Instead of telling yourself you need more time, I want you to choose more intention. And your challenge for this week is so simple and so doable and so important. Sometime this week, I want you to block out 15 to 20 minutes. And it doesn't have to be this week that you're blocking it out, just sometime before the end of the year to really just sit down with your partner and talk about one thing. What do we want our relationship to look like next year? Not schedules, not kids' activities, not bills, just your relationship. Talk about how you want to feel together, what you want more of, what you want to protect, what's been working, what you'd like to strengthen. And if that conversation feels awkward or hard to start, because sometimes it is absolutely hard to start this conversation, an easy first step, share this episode with your partner and then share tomorrow's episode too. Tomorrow's actually more important. So if you're only going to share one, share that one. And let this be the icebreaker. Let it be the invitation. Let it be the moment where you say, this matters to me and I want us to be intentional about it together. Because that one conversation, that small block of time on your calendar, that simple act of just opening the door, that's how you're going to make big changes next year. Not with pressure, not with perfection, but with that one intentional step. So take this quote with you into this week. Marriage doesn't need more time. It needs, and remember, becoming her isn't about doing everything differently overnight. It's about choosing those small, aligned actions that move you closer to the life and the relationships that you really want next year. And make sure you come back tomorrow where we dive in deep in how to be the partner you want to be next year. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Kerri Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life. Or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Kerri Pat.